I want to talk to you for just a few minutes about the upcoming Sex in the City movie. It's probably the most anticipated movie of the summer, maybe even the year, as it's an adaptation of that popular HBO television series. And I'm not here to do a movie review, but what I am here to do is tell you how this particular television program that's now a movie is sadly a great lens into where we are at as a culture, where we are at morally, where we are at ethically. What most people, probably even watching right now, consider a normal life. A life that includes promiscuous sex. A life that includes living really in total rebellion to God and His plan for relationships. So many people are hurting because of bad relationships. Yet they get their relationship modeling from programs and movies like Sex in the City. If you're modeling your relationships after either of these women, you've just got a disaster waiting to happen. There is going to be no happy ending. There is going to be no Hollywood ending to your relationship if you're modeling it after the women on this TV program and upcoming movie. So I just want to tell you this. I know there's a lot of people can't wait for this movie to come out. But I'm here to tell you tonight that this movie is a great depiction of everything that is wrong with our society and with our culture. And I know people think it's just fantasy, but you do not have any idea how realistic these lives really are to how many people are living today. And it's no wonder why people are living with the tremendous pain and heartache they do, why people are paying such huge prices in their lives. Like I tell you so often in this program, when you do it your way, it never works. When you do it God's way, life works. And I'm here to tell you tonight that there's nothing in this movie, Sex in the City, that has anything to do with God's way. Last week, the California State Supreme Court ruled 4-3 to allow same-sex marriage in the state. Now, this is not only interesting, but very scary, because it was just a few years ago that the citizens of the state of California went to the ballot box, went to the voting booth, and voted 61% to outlaw gay marriage in the state. But there was a challenge to that ruling of the will of the people, claiming it violated people's civil rights. And in a 4-3 decision, the California State Supreme Court agreed, and they have literally overturned the will of the people and have now made same-sex marriage legal in that state. Now, many people equate this with civil rights. My friend, let me just tell you this. You are born black. You're born white. You're born with blue eyes and green eyes. You have no choice. Taking your pants off to have sex, my friend, that is a choice. God clearly defined marriage in the Bible as a man and a woman. One man, one woman for one lifetime. That's God's holy institution of marriage. This is a complete abomination. It is literally spitting in the face of God. It's a complete desecration of His holy institution. And the only potential saving grace in this is that they're quickly getting enough names for a petition that will allow a referendum this November, when the California citizens go to the polls, to vote to institute a constitutional amendment to the California state constitution that would define marriage as a man and a woman. And then that would totally knock out this latest ruling. But that's the only way it's going to happen. Otherwise, you're going to have same-sex marriage in the state of California, which is going to have implications nationally. Because people get married in California, two men get married in California, they move to Utah, and it's just a chaotic mess. But you know what? For those who've been reading my devotionals for the last 9 years, for those who've watched this TV program for the nearly 5.5 years it's been on, I've been telling you this was coming. I've been telling you this was coming. People used to laugh at me years ago. No, it'll never happen. Well, here we are. We're living it right now. And you know what? The church is to blame. Those who serve Satan and oppose the things of God are more diligent, work harder in serving Satan than those who serve the Lord. That's true. That's true. Those who serve Satan are more tenacious than those who serve God. I've said it often. Satan's not playing games. Sadly, most of the people who serve God are playing games. And this is what we're left with. This is what we're dealing with now. Men marrying men, women marrying women. What's next? A man marrying a goat? Laugh if you want. I guarantee you 5 years ago people would have said, no way a man's going to marry a man. So I can use the same argument homosexuals use. Well, if I'm in love with this man, why shouldn't I be able to marry him? Well, if I'm in love with a goat, why shouldn't I be able to marry a goat? What's next? Men marrying children? Once you open the floodgates, where do you draw the line now? So this is going to be an issue that, unfortunately, we're going to be seeing unfolding, and we'll keep on top of it. Lastly, tonight I want to talk just for a minute about Obama, the audacity of infanticide. You know, the name of one of Senator Barack Hussein Obama's books was The Audacity of Hope. Well, I'm putting together a major campaign on the whole abortion issue. Of course, those who support killing babies call it a woman's right to choose, but in honesty, all it is a woman's right to choose to kill her baby. What's the choice? To let your baby live or to slaughter your baby? Ever since he's been in elected office, Senator Barack Hussein Obama has voted consistently 100% to support the legalized slaughtering of babies. And I mention this because he is aggressively going after the votes of evangelical Christians. And I want to challenge those watching tonight. I want to challenge you tonight. If you are a follower of Jesus Christ, if you claim Jesus as your Savior, Jesus said, if you love me, you'll obey me. That means this book. I'm going to ask you a question. How can you in conscience claim to love Jesus, yet support anyone who would vote to uphold the legalized slaughter of babies, which is exactly what abortion is? Now, Senator Barack Hussein Obama claims to be a Christian. He's out there aggressively going after the Christian vote. And we're going to pin the senator down very soon on how anyone who claims Christ as their Savior could vote to legally slaughter babies.